All right, so let's quickly talk about this Xbox Series XS that was going around Twitter earlier today, and several websites started picking up on it as well. This appears to be something that was found online with Microsoft actually trademarking Xbox Series XS, which led to a lot of speculation around to what it could be. We'll see trademarks for all kinds of things, but when it comes up with something like this and we're like, wait, could that be a new console that Microsoft is getting ready to launch, even though we just had the Series X and the Series S launch? Well, we'll talk about exactly what this is here today. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure that like button helps out a ton. And if you're new here to the Small Wave Plus channel, make sure you subscribe down below. So this is the trademark here for it, Xbox Series XS. This is the trademark information, and mostly it's just covering like all of their bases: games, toys, and playthings, video game apparatus, video game consoles for use with an external display screen or monitor, controller, so on. It just covers like everything that, say, the Xbox Series X or S would be used for anyway. And people looked at this and said, okay, Xbox Series XS. Is that really how they would name a system? They'd take both the Series X and the Series S and merge them together? Well, I mean, the Series S doesn't take a disc. It's technically an all-digital system. And the Series X is much more powerful. Maybe they meet in the middle. They call it the XS, and it's a Series X that doesn't take a disc drive. It's all digital. I mean, if you sat that next to what Sony's done with the PlayStation 5 all digital, it would kind of make sense and it would match up, and there is a spot there in terms of pricing. Why wouldn't they do that? Well, first of all, XS is a terrible name. I mean, I'm already not really sold on Series X or Series S myself when it comes to names, because I've been tripped up. I've noticed others have. When we go to talk about these systems, you might accidentally say 1X or 1S. I mean, as we go along through this generation, we won't as much, but it's still there. So we're already kind of getting over that. But if you do XS, that is not a great naming idea for this console. They'd have to go like a different letter completely. Like we saw the rumored at the time, and it was obviously fake, but the Series V, that's at least a different letter. You can't call it the Series L. You can't put an L in the system before it comes out. But if we scroll down a bit further here, again, all of the different information that they go over here describing what the trademark will be used for, and we can see it was filed on the 29th of December, and then we have the new application filed here with the status date, the 1st of January, so just a few days ago. But if you look at Xbox Series XS, it's not actually for a console, and people started to figure this out after it was being talked about quite a bit online. They started putting two and two together. Why would Microsoft do this? Well, if we go over to Game Pass, and we look at the list of some of the games here, we have been getting some games that are optimized for the Series X and the Series S. Not necessarily just backwards compatible, but they have had some updates that make it take advantage of what the Series X or the Series S can offer, whether it's just the overall more powerful hardware with the better CPU, the GPU, and the SSD itself. The game would expect it, rather than just be like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, this just loaded faster because, I guess. Well, if you look at like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, there's the X and the S right there. And we also have some titles and different things online that you can see where it's Series X, then we have like a slash, and then S. What this trademark would be for is seriously just covering that, the Series XS. They want to make sure that just that imagery is covered under Microsoft through a trademark. Unfortunately, it's not much more complicated than just that. I mean, it's a straightforward trademark there that they wanted to make just to make sure that they are protected going forward as they continue to put this labeling on all of the games, probably on Game Pass after we get through the first year or two. And I haven't checked on like packaging, but I would assume that it's starting to pop up in stores as well. Now, that doesn't mean that Microsoft wouldn't explore the idea of an all-digital Series X console, and I think they are keeping an eye on how the Series S does, and can they step up to something closer to the Series X, a machine that doesn't take a disc, but still is able to output 4K and do all of the cool visual effects that the Series X can do, especially since Sony is doing that with their PlayStation 5 currently. It's just not something they're going to come out with anytime soon, I would say, considering the Series X and the Series S are barely in stores as it is now, and we have estimations that it will probably be until April before you really start to see them just on store shelves and you can walk in and pick one up. So while there was a lot of talk around another system, this is just a pretty straightforward, everyday trademark that Microsoft wanted to make. because they're starting to use the Series X/S tag on their different games. Guys, let me know what you think about this one down below. Specifically, let me know if you would be interested in a Series X that's, say, $400, doesn't take a disc, but still has all of the power that the Series X has currently. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.